Hello and welcome to the Final Cut, Half Cut with me, Jason Winter, and
I'm Nick, and I'm also here.
You are also
Thank
here.
you for having me.
With the clarity I hope everybody can hear with our new mic setup. This is awesome, Nick. This is cool.
Thank you, I found them.
I feel very professional, you know? I feel like we're really doing this now.
As the sugar daddy of this podcast,
Yes.
which I suppose makes you the sugar baby.
Yeah? Alright. Why did we get... No, back off.
That's a very weird
It's a weird intro. Anyway, how are you, mate? You alright?
I'm doing okay.
Cool.
I'm surviving.
Me too.
I say that every time.
I know, yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is a global pandemic, so you're entitled to not be fully chipper. You know?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Every time someone says I am still alive, that is like, oh, good.
Yeah, it's like just Maslow's hierarchy of needs: your roof over your head, food in your belly, podcast in your brain, and you're golden.
Yeah, people liking the music I recommend, that's pretty important to me.
Yeah. Right. What? Any music recommendations?
No. But if I do say, oh, you should check this out, and someone's like, oh, do you like it? And they're like, no. That's devastating, yeah.
Right, yeah.
You never want to be like, if someone's like, oh, you need to watch this.
Yeah, I did that with someone. I showed someone a song and he just talked the entire way through it. And I was like, my soul.
Because there's nothing, because it's kind of like, it's like, oh, you and me definitely have a, like, we
share the
same
things. And then there's that so awkward.
And then if they're like, no, it's like, well, I don't know you, do I? Or I don't know myself.
I've had that the other day. But I won't say why because it's a bit not safe for work. And this is a job now because the economy's crashed and there's nothing else to do. And that brings me on to movie news. That's because we don't have jingles yet.
Yeah,
but
we don't have jingles.
Fingers crossed. So, bit of a change up to this feature. I'm now calling it movie news and new booze because I am personally getting into home brewing and it's been really fun. I have in front of me my own cherry jam wine, Nick, made from dark cherries. And you see, it's got actual bubbles. You can see the bubbles, right?
I see. I can see bubbles, not necessarily enough to say that there's bubbles.
You don't want to drink that bit at the end. We're not obviously drinking the end.
Yeah.
This is a Will Keeble recipe. So shout out to Will. Thank you for that. He's not seen my messages in over a month, but
he's seen them.
He's
definitely seen them.
He fucking doesn't care. No, I'm joking. He's alright. But thank you, Will, for the recipe. If you're listening, which I definitely don't think you are.
Oh, he definitely won't be.
Anyway, he's got a life. He has friends. He has hobbies, interests, and anyway, this isn't all about him. This is about my cherry wine. Would you like to try it, Nick? Because each week I'm going to buy some weird thing. Some weird beer, some weird wine, some weird whatever. Maybe not even alcohol. Maybe I'll just get you to try like Ludwigsk or something.
Is that not? I don't even know what that is.
Ludwigsk, right, is fucking disgusting. Disgusting. It is fermented fish, and it is just apparently it's like got the texture of Vaseline, and it's one of the most disgusting things in the world.
Oh, cool.
And it's from Norway. So
most things that are awful are from Norway.
Yeah. Well. Anyway.
Food-wise,
Yeah, they're not known for it, yeah. So today, I've got my homebrew. It's been chilling in the fridge. Are you ready to do like a not live because we recorded it, but like drink
a live reaction?
Yeah, live reaction.
Yeah.
Right. I'll try and do the AS.
What percentage is it?
My hydrometer broke. So you have a hydrometer that will give you the gravity. Don't ask me. So then you calculate the gravity into ABV on a calculator, and it will tell you. But this is a test of the test batch.
Cool.
So this is never.
So this generally might be dangerous.
It genuinely might make you ill. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, it smells like wine and alcohol.
Wine and alcohol.
Hear, it's fizzing. Look at that. Wow. It might turn to vinegar. Who knows? Right. I'm going to pour some in the glass.
Being really careful with it. It's kind of weird.
I know, yeah, but it's freaking me out. I don't know. Shall I try it before you, or you?
Yeah, try it before me.
Right. Well, I suppose I did.
I don't want to be a canary in someone else's.
Someone else's
weird experiment.
Yeah. Right, 3, 2, 1. Cherry jam wine test. I feel like Iron Man, you know, when he's testing his thrusters. Anyway, I was trying to make the wine making into a movie thing. It's not that bad.
Alright, lay it on me.
Holy shit.
Lay it on me.
It's got bubbles and it tastes like cherries.
Oh, like cherryade?
It's like cherry jam, mate, but boozy.
Don't give me a lot.
Just a little bit. Wow.
No, that smells weird.
It smells winey, don't it? It smells like white wine.
I don't like it, but I don't like wine. So.
But it tastes like wine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a cherry sparkling wine. Mental.
I'm not going to touch that for the rest of the thing.
No, you're good.
I'm not a wine guy. I'm barely a beer. I'm barely a beer guy.
There you go, folks. Live.
So anyway, news.
Live and direct. News. First off, sadly, R.I.P. to Hugh Keays-Byrne, the actor who was in both Mad Max films, the original one as Toe Cutter, and he was in Fury Road, the guy with the mask with white hair. His name was, excuse me.
What, Imperium Joe?
Yes, Imperium Joe, yeah. He plays Imperium Joe.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he's just passed away at the age of 73. So R.I.P. mate. I quite like Mad Max. You a Mad Max fan?
I really like Fury Road.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the earlier ones are basically just modern day Australia, so there's nothing that amazing about it.
Yeah, it does feel like watching when like literally getting closer and closer to Mad Max now. Masks are now fashionable.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, biggest news of this week is Warner Brothers has announced an entire slate of 2021 is going straight to HBO Max, and I'm pretty pissed off about it, mate, because I want to go back to the cinema, and the Warner Brothers offerings that are coming out are pretty much all my jam, right? So it's Matrix 4, it's Dune, it's like Godzilla versus Kong to come onto our Monsters issue today. And just, yeah, mate, I'm just was thinking it's interesting that we're doing this podcast now at the possible death of the cinema. You know, I've talked about this earlier on in the pandemic, but what's your call, mate? 5 years from now, cinema's going to be a thing.
Oh, God, I hope not.
No?
No.
You don't like cinemas?
I hate cinemas. Cinemas are awful.
Do you not like the experience of some films in cinemas?
No.
No?
No.
So you don't think that it's better to see a film on
The world without
IMAX?
cinemas is one of my perfect worlds.
Really?
I can't stand cinemas.
Well, there you go.
Because I have to deal with people.
A film, a
and
YouTube
the
film
thing about
review.
cinemas is you have to rely on everyone else taking it seriously.
Okay.
Every cinema I go to, there's always some fucking kids.
I have got,
who are talking way too much. There's always someone who's just chewing on the loudest possible thing they can.
I'm going to drink your wine.
I hate cinemas. Cinemas are awful.
Fair enough.
No leg room.
Yeah, alright. But I've got a story about
Expensive
this,
stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about that as well. Like, 'cause I bought like 8 cans of those Sam
Have to
Gals
wear trousers.
for a £5.
Yeah.
And then I remembered in the pubs it's like £5 for one drink, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've nearly forgot that. That's how long I haven't been to the pub, which is shocking. But in cinemas, yeah, I agree. They are too expensive. However, you know, the model now of Warner Brothers with all these movies, I think it's pretty mad. Like, I do think it's. I understand your gripe with it, but I've got to the point where I refuse to go to the cinema in the day, and I used to get people to smuggle alcohol in the movie for me because I'm not going to spend 2.5 hours sat down without drinking. And so I be going to the toilet. I'm that guy. Oh, you fucking hate me in the cinema.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, I am selfish. You know, and then I'll be getting upset at the end. I get very emotional.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
I view films the way they're supposed to be viewed, which is on a smartphone.
Martin Scorsese would hate you.
I'm sleeping. I'm like about to go to bed. That's how you're supposed to be viewed. That's the Dunkirk experience.
Yeah,
it should be.
Okay. Fair enough. So Nick's happy cinemas are over. I'm not. But whatever. So also HBO Max still not available in the UK. So if I legally want to watch Dune and The Matrix 4 and that, I've got to go and buy Sky because Rupert Murdoch, who I'm pretty sure everybody knows by now, is a wanker.
He's definitely one of the most hated men in the world.
He's definitely up there. I mean, he's admirable if you want to be a toxic billionaire, which, as you know, that is my number one goal.
I think most people want to be with that guy, though.
Well, yeah. And so he has an exclusive deal so that HBO Max isn't going to drop in the UK for ages. And I'm just pissed about it. But I think you can go through Now TV and that will do it. So
well, there's always ways to get through.
I'm sure there are, mate.
It's just you've got to go a little bit further on.
You know, speaking, not happy about that. So, yeah, thanks America, thanks Rupert Murdoch, not happy with you. So I wanted to do movie monsters
Yes.
because I was reading a thing the other day which said go back and rewatch Deep Rising, a film from the 90s, because it's quite good. And I thought,
wait, there was an article specifically saying watch Deep Rising.
Yeah.
Who wrote this article?
Can't remember.
Was it the director of Deep Rising?
No, that's Stephen Sommers. It's a Sommers film.
Is it?
Yeah.
Still could have been in because I don't know anyone who's looking back fondly on Deep Rising.
I liked it.
I do like it, but I don't think there are many pieces about like. Do you know what's a really underrated film?
Deep Rising. Honestly, yeah, I thought it was quite. I read the article and it was saying it didn't have a commercial success, but they were like, it's actually got quite good bits in it, and the ideas and it's quite interesting because it's one of those films from Hollywood that like it was originally called Tentacles, like 15 years before it got made, and it's like one of those ones that just lingered in production and like changed and chopped about, and it just has a Hollywood history. And it was an interesting article, and the reason why I checked it out specifically, the only redeemable thing, because I admit it was very tacky, but it was a tacky film that I enjoyed rather than it's the opposite of the new Star Wars films because like it's like completely devoid of any ideas. This had a load of ideas, a load of like actors being bombastic, but it was genuinely it was quite a good film. I'm not gonna lie.
Deep Rising, I put in the same because it's the same director of the Mummy films.
Yeah.
And because I think one of the guys, I think Benny is in Deep Rising. He's like the sidekick.
Yeah.
And there's like,
oh yeah, he is. I haven't seen the Mummy.
Yeah, I know, which is still shocking to me.
Right.
You've not seen Brendan Fraser's The Mummy.
No.
It's the best Mummy film ever made.
Right.
But there's not much competition for that.
I saw Brendan Fraser in George of the Jungle and went, fuck this, I don't want this guy in my life.
Brendan Fraser is an underrated actor.
He's alright.
No, I think he's a very underrated actor.
What else has he been in then?
Because
I don't like him. George of the Jungle, The Mummy,
Mummy Returns.
Mummy Returns, some aviator film.
No, that's probably The Mummy. Again, because he parts the thing. I don't know, but everything I've seen him in, I'm not like he's in G.I. Joe for a cameo because I think Stephen Sommers directed that and he just had him in as a cameo.
Right.
But I put Deep Rising in the same thing where I put The Mummy, where it's like it's dumb, but it also knows what it is.
Yeah.
And it's not trying to be anything more. And
precisely.
It that
that's a very good point because I felt that when watching it, that it doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's why I found it fun because I was like, okay, these things are silly, you know, but it's going for the kills and it's being really stupid and over the top, and I liked it for that.
Yeah.
And so that's what got me thinking because the production of it, the real effects, are done by a guy that worked mostly for John Carpenter most of his life. Obviously, you know, I love The Thing as my favourite monster, and yeah, so I just wanted to sort of discuss movie monsters through cinema and that, mate. Because I watched Deep Rising, and then the other day I watched Labyrinth again. Since the first time I've watched Labyrinth as an adult, and I forgot how much Bowie cock and balls you get.
Well, Bowie's bulge has a co-starring credit.
Yeah, is it a separate character?
Yeah.
Oh right.
It's Jennifer Connelly.
Yes.
David Bowie.
Yeah.
David Bowie's bulge.
Yep.
Produced by them. It's like his third build is Bowie's crotch.
And I found that to be. I think it's the most successful pedo tale of all time. I was like, what is the context other than like this is pedo Alice in Wonderland? I was like, all the subtext to it is like, what? He's got a baby. Why does he need the baby? Does he feed the baby to the trolls, or it keeps him immortal or something? I saw the whole film, and okay, fairly inebriated. I still can't tell you, and that was the other day, what the mechanic, what the logic was there, you know? He's the Goblin King.
Yeah, he's a Goblin King.
But he doesn't look like any of the other goblins.
Because he's the king.
Well, yeah, but what? So you get crowned and you get more handsome?
No, I think it's because maybe they did it because he looked like David Bowie.
Well, yeah, I get. Look,
and in storyline, David Bowie's a guy.
Yeah.
And the gods were like, oh shit, that looks like David Bowie.
Yeah, I guess you don't need. Like, David Bowie doesn't have to explain himself to people. Does he? He's like, you do understand, spiders from Mars, I reinvent myself, I am the magic guy. Like, I get it instantly, I got it.
Realistically, he was supposed to have like makeup done. He just went like, no, also I bring my own trousers.
Yeah. I shrunk them in the wash specifically for this role.
Yeah, so...
He bought Peter Pan's spandex, put it on a 60-degree heat wash, and went, I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
And there is no prosthetics in that bulge.
No.
There's some brilliant prosthetic work being done in some of the top monsters throughout movie history. Not here, sir. So, fan of Bowie's bulge, but it threw me off. There's context to it. I was like, but there's the Ludo character, which gave me an idea for movie monsters, which is to talk about a little bit about the idea of.
That's a very weird character to give you the idea of talking about.
I just was watching him, and it's so impressive when they introduce him, right? Because
which one is Ludo?
The giant troll, like orangutan monster beast.
Oh, okay.
The main
it's been a while since I've watched it.
Sorry, I should have briefed you on that. And so she's initially scared of him in the first 10 seconds, but then we quickly realise that he's a good guy. And so the concept, I think, that's central to a lot of these things, or to the idea of movie monsters throughout time, is that a monster is a monster because of the context of it. Like, like we said off air, is Chewbacca a monster? He's treated differently, like put in chains when the Empire capture Han Solo and stuff. But to Han Solo, he's his friend. He's just another.
Well, I don't even think the Empire put him in chains because he's like, he's almost going like, this is a Wookiee, and they're like, we need to really keep him locked.
All right, fair enough.
I don't think they
Am I discriminating against Wookiees?
Yeah.
Am I being racist against Wookiees?
Like in the universe, Chewbacca isn't a monster because all the main characters are aware of what a Wookiee is. Okay,
I'll give you that point. But
if like all of a sudden the characters were like, what is that? I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Then you could say he's a monster in that realm.
So
because it's not the Rachni. There's the thing that Jabba keeps underneath his palace.
Oh,
that's a monster.
That comes up later on in this podcast, mate. With the top 20
I think
monster quiz.
Because that's a monster because people are like, oh god, one of them.
Yeah.
And also the Sarlacc pit, I think you call a monster.
Is the definition or identity of a monster in the eyes of its victim? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So a monster is purely Godzilla
he's a monster.
and King Kong, not Hong Kong.
Yeah.
King Kong, Godzilla, they're monsters to us.
Yeah, but
to each other,
they're just
rivals,
another thing.
Colleagues.
Yeah.
In the monster game.
Well, you want to talk about the
think
good
about the
monsters.
Workplace fucking health and safety they had to fill out on a day's self-employment as Godzilla. Yeah. It was a fucking nightmare. The paperwork. You knocked another building over, you silly bastard.
Well, because you want to talk to me about like good monsters and bad monsters, and in my view, there is no such thing as a good monster.
Why?
Because a monster is a naturally negative term.
So yes, I agree with you. So
like, other than it's like, because the BFG is a monster, but then it turns out, it's not actually a monster. It's actually a friendly giant.
Right.
So it's no longer a monster. A monster is like if like you're scared of something, then there's monsters there.
So we were talking about Rupert Murdoch. Is he a monster?
He's a monster, but that's purely because of how inhumane he is.
Yeah.
But I'd say there's no such thing as a good monster.
Okay.
Because the moment a monster becomes good, it is no longer a monster.
All right. Yes. All right. I agree with you. So it's entirely conceptual, based on the premise of
subjective.
Yeah. So like we were saying. So I'm gonna do a top 20 monsters quiz. Freddy Krueger is on the top 100, but I had to brief Nick off air that he's way, way up the list because of how many he's become a parody of himself.
Yeah.
So he's only 58 on the list, and you were saying you don't consider him a monster.
I wouldn't consider Freddy Krueger
because he's not we're talking what's impressive about prosthetics and like some of the best.
That's not even me. It's because for me a monster can't necessarily be reasoned with.
Yeah,
I can talk to because if Freddy Krueger's a monster, then so is Mike Myers, so is Jason Voorhees, and to me they're not monsters. They're
I
slashers.
agree. Yeah,
because I can communicate. A monster to me is I can't understand what it's thinking.
The only reason why
I wouldn't say the Predator's a monster because it's got like you can kind of understand its reasons.
I understand that on the concept front, but it's in the quiz, mate, because it's like
Is that also
one of the
is that
best.
also one of the 20?
It might be.
Cool.
Your job is to guess. You've got to think.
Yeah, but for me, like Alien, which I'm guessing going to say straight away is probably in the top 20. That's an ape monster because you can't communicate with it. You have no way of understanding what it wants. All you know is that it's trying to kill you. A predator, you can kind of learn what it is because it can talk to us.
Agree, but I think it's a monster.
Oh, it might, but like if someone said that's a monster, I wouldn't be like.
Well, you know what Predator is, but if a film didn't exist and that thing's fucking chasing you, mate.
Oh yeah, but that's the same.
Scared.
Yeah, but that's something like, as I said earlier, a bear.
Yeah.
A bear isn't a monster, but if it chased me,
okay,
I'd still be terrified.
Okay, I see your point, but I don't agree.
That's fine.
But I do get it. I think you're mostly right, but I just think
you
it
can
is a
tell
bit subjective.
that I'm not. I don't sound like a massive idiot.
Yeah.
just a regular old kind of a dumbass.
No, I don't mean that. Before we get on to our favourite monsters and discussing that a bit more in detail, I have got to say, during watching Labyrinth...
Oh yeah, you want to yell at
I want to fucking yell at someone because I just have to have a rant for a minute because I've brought this up before. I don't like Harry Potter. There are monsters in Harry Potter. Are you a fan of any Harry Potter monsters? Just before I go in, son. In.
Well, the thing about a lot of their monsters is that they are based on normal mythology.
Tropes of, other trolls, other things, And this is the fucking problem, is that J.K. Rowling doesn't have an original idea in her fucking head. And you're a dickhead, mate. Because I was watching Labyrinth, there's this character called Hoggle, right? Little troll geezer. What's the main girl's name in it?
Jennifer Connelly.
I can't remember her name in the thing, but she calls him 4 or 5 times in the film Hogwarts. So bang, she's watched Labyrinth. Hogwarts sounds like a good name for a school. Then they go into like an MC Escher staircase place, and she's getting all confused, and it's obviously meant to like throw her around, and that's part of the Labyrinth clues in the title. And I was like, fuck me, this is just like the moving staircases in Hogwarts. So she nicked that as well. Then, the research for this fucking podcast, I read every single top 100 monster thing. It took me ages. But it's quite interesting. Gave me nightmares. But, right, in the film, 1982 film Troll, the main character is called Harry fucking Potter in 1982. So you can't tell me, Nick, and nobody on the internet or in real life can tell me that J.K. Rowling, like the odds, right, of being able to avoid some massive, like, the age that she was as well at that time. I'm just saying, if I was a detective and she was like, this was like fraud, and I had to fucking do the paper trail of going 1982, Troll comes out, and there's a Harry Potter, and then you got published in 1997. That's a long time. That's 50 years.
Okay, even though I don't necessarily care about J.K. Rowling because she sounds like a terrible person.
Yeah.
Now, a few months ago she wasn't. Now she's. She's a bad guy.
Yeah.
She's
the Voldemort of Twitter.
I do have to defend her on this.
Why?
Okay, Hogwarts.
Yeah.
It's not taking a name of a minor, not a supporting character in the film, and because wart is a old term for plant.
Yeah, all right, fine.
So it could be there's like.
Have you read the books? Have you read the Harry Potter books?
No,
I haven't either.
But there is like
it's
like snowwort is like a snowflower. Yeah. Wart is a term used in medicine.
Oh yeah, like in war. Yeah,
the MC Escher one. I'm not gonna say that's an impossible idea to come up with. The idea that they can move by themselves.
Right.
And the Harry Potter one, no one's watched Troll. No one has watched Troll.
She fucking has.
No, she hasn't. Have you? Okay, I've got a question for you. Have you watched Troll?
No.
Okay, I have.
Right.
And no one even watches the Troll series for Troll. Right. They watch it for Troll 2.
Right.
Because Troll 2 is the film people talk about. Nothing. That is Nilborg goblins spelled backwards. They're not even trolls in Troll 2. It's goblins.
That's quite cool.
that is one of the worst things ever made.
I'm sure it is.
And it's one, you know, you see what film where it's like, this is a bad film and I never want to watch it again.
Right.
It's not one of those. It's one of those. This is a terrible film.
This has been a
I
terrible
need to
experience.
show everyone this film.
Okay.
It's like a really good shit film. It's not the worst film made.
That we should come on to again.
Troll 2's been done fucking countless times by better people.
But I want to do the worst films of
I will do that. But
podcast.
I highly doubt that J.K. Rowling watched Troll, because that film made no money. No one watched Troll.
Absolutely. I don't mean to argue with you, Nick. I'm just saying, right? In my mind's eye, as someone that's tried to come up with my own ideas, or sometimes ideas come to me in a dream. I wrote a joke in a dream the other day. The joke was, what do you call a modern female mariachi band? Little Mex. You know, I didn't write that consciously. I've dreamt it. Anyway, so
It's in a dome piece.
I'm proud of that joke. Because it's so constructed. It's like, what? Oh. Anyway, right? I'm just saying, J.K. Rowling sitting on a fucking mountain of gold, tweeting abuse to fucking transgender people, knows between me and her, right? The reason why I hate her so much, really, is because I'm too much like her. I don't hate trans people, by the way. That's a major difference. And I know how you Harry Potter is a paint by the fucking numbers franchise, which always took the trope of the five, Fantastic Five or whatever idea, mixed with witches and wizards. That's all it is, right? That's because all of it, like I asked you about the monsters, all of it is taken from folklore or pre-existing fantasy genre tropes. And to fucking come across, in the space of 2 days, 3 different things that are the name of the main character and the name of the school in the franchise coming from somewhere else, around the early 80s, when she was around sort of late 20s, early 30s, it just speaks to me as someone. And I'm just angry that there are people out there that love Harry Potter, love J.K. Rowling, think she's a fucking genius, because the nature of genius, and I was in a workshop for creative writing and film studies, right? And I had this idea. I can't remember the fucking idea. And some bloke went, yeah, that's like that. And the teacher went, oh, yes, I remember this. That references blah, 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 blah. And they were like, and I was like, all right, I didn't know that. I've just come up with this. And then they fucking, discuss the nature of genius. AKA, all of your subjective experience from your childhood and adulthood and life. And then, your consciousness and dreams and stuff. And how the engine of your brain will come up. I was like, but you didn't fucking come up with it, did you?
So, listen, I understand.
And I'm just saying, from my personal experience in life, I think J.K. Rowling is a fraud, and I think she knows it. I hate that idea.
No, can I defend Harry Potter?
You can defend it.
No. Okay. So, are you suggesting that the quality of the books and the storytelling is based entirely on his name?
No, I'll give you that.
So, because it's not like J.K. Rowling was like, even if she did it subconsciously.
All right.
So
yeah, good point.
So
however, this is the central reason why it makes me angry. It's the cultural unknowability of it, right? Is that in life, I remember we talked about with Japanese anime and stuff, you can't truly understand it because we're from a Western audience, right? So there's certain central themes to Japanese culture that just aren't really truly knowable to us. And
I think I know what it means to be kawaii and tsundere.
Right, I don't know what that is.
Animated.
Oh, cool. The reason for me is there are loads of people that love Harry Potter, that it's an anti-intellectual play for me. It's just I like knowing how everything is constructed and how things are made, and I like things to be very genuine and transparent. For instance, that's why I've talked at length about Guillermo del Toro's Troll Hunters and the Jim Henson Company with I'm extremely disappointed in Netflix dropping Dark Crystal. It's the genuine love. It's craftsmanship. That's what I mean. Sorry, it's craftsmanship, right? And having a genuine heart to achieve something. And I'm sure J.K. Rowling at a point of her career did, but it's just I find it hollow, and I find these facts that I found on the interwebs to I admit I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist when it comes to J.K. Rowling. I'm completely spewing that this is a conspiracy theory I've come up with. However, the evidence I found suggests that my opinion is more valid than even having no evidence, which, you know, most of my opinions have no evidence in fact or logic or basis in reality at all.
No,
so
they do. It's just
I've got two things.
No, they do.
Nick.
No, they do have basis in reality.
Right.
It's just not everyone else's reality.
No, just my own.
Yeah, it's just your reality. All makes sense.
Right. Okay. So anyway, that happened, and I'm annoyed about it.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if someone said to you, "Oh, I love Harry Potter," would you be like, "Oh, well, then you need to watch Troll"? Because if they watch Troll, they'd be like, "Okay, its name's the same, but other than that, that film is nothing like Harry Potter."
No, what I want to do, I would like to.
You want to peel the mask back of J.K. Rowling.
I want to expose her. Yeah, I want to like fucking look her in the eye and go, "Did you watch Labyrinth and did you watch Troll?" Like I want her to look me in the eye and pinky promise me that she didn't fucking
she's
steal
definitely watched Labyrinth, 100%, because that was a big thing.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not entirely sure how. Yeah, but like, if she's going like, even if she's like, yeah, I like the name Hogwarts, that doesn't really take anything from the books. It's not like she could call it Squigwire and the story's exactly the same.
All right, fine.
If it was like wholesale stealing, going like,
look, you're going to force me to become a private detective.
I nearly killed Jennifer Connelly, but now she's coming back to take me out. I'd be like, okay, that's nothing. But it's like, she could just say, yeah, I like the name.
I bet Jennifer Connelly actually wrote, because JK, and so JK. JC.
Connelly's with a C.
Yeah. Hashtag love JC. Hashtag reinstate Jeremy Corbyn into the Labour Party. Anyway, so
Jeremy Corbyn, please come to the show.
Yeah, I'd like that. So right, I've done my JK rant. I'm just saying, in the research for this podcast and all the monsters, and thinking about Harry Potter and how it hasn't got any original monsters, I got a bit pissed off with it all. As you know, I just don't like it. I can't tell you why. I like Lord of the Rings now. I went back and rewatched Lord of the Rings recently. You're not a Lord of the Rings fan.
I like Lord of the Rings.
Do you?
Yeah, I really like the Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit is a shit film.
The Hobbit isn't very good, is it?
Yeah, it's a really bad film.
It's like Transformers. I watched because they did the thing with the frames, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
46 frames per second or something instead of 28.
I think they edited it later, but when it first came out, it gave a lot of people headaches. Yeah, I never watched. I think I watched it in cinema.
And also the orcs are shitter because they made it a PG instead of 12A or something, didn't they?
Yes.
Or Lord of the Rings was 15 and that's 12A.
Well, it definitely gets more comedic and family friendly, but it's like so. My main problem was that it's like, okay, so you got these 3 books and they get longer and longer.
Yeah.
And you did 3 films.
Yeah.
And you got the shortest book.
Yeah.
And you're making 3 films.
I know. Yeah. Peter Jackson just got a bit. Peter Jackson at that point was a bit prequel George Lucas. You know, he's fucking doing it for himself. He's not doing it for the fans, you know. They did it for a commercial.
I don't even think he was doing it for himself. I think he was doing that for a paycheck.
I think they just fucking said it's going to be a trilogy, mate, because that's what you do now.
Yeah, because no one else, because other than Orlando Bloom showed up.
Yeah.
And Christopher Lee.
Right.
And like they were the only 2 people that showed up for that film.
Oh, I can't remember. I've seen it. I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly. I watched the first. Yeah, because Legolas is he's at the end of the first one, then he's in the rest of them.
Oh, right.
Because they give him a love interest. Because everyone was making fun of him for being in a relationship with Gimli, so they made a love interest for him, who ended up getting one of the dwarves.
I feel like, look, no offense to Orlando Bloom, but he sort of reminds me of like a John Terry, you know, and like sort of like arrogant.
He's a really good centre back.
You know, like the racism stuff and like.
I don't think he's racist at all.
Oh, there's a big documentary out with
Orlando Bloom?
Rio Ferdinand's brother.
I'm talking about Orlando Bloom.
Oh,
John Terry definitely is.
Oh, right, okay.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't think Orlando Bloom's racist.
There's something about Orlando Bloom. The funniest thing I've seen Orlando Bloom in is in extras when the girl.
Oh yeah, because he's like, why don't you fancy me?
Yeah. That fair enough. But the rest, I don't know why I don't like him. I've got this thing like where I don't really know why I don't.
I don't know. I really like Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom, please come to the show. Orlando Bloom's like one of my guys because he's almost every time I see him, he's never like because he always plays a guy who's kind of bland.
Yeah, that's my problem.
But I feel like at some point you get typecast. I mean, like you're just generic hot.
Yeah.
So
that's my thing. I'm sort of like, what is the point in Orlando Bloom? Like, That's what I'm trying to.
Well, he's always good because he always plays off well with more eccentric characters because he's like the straight man.
Yes, he's the straight man. All right.
Because in Pirates of the Caribbean, if he was also a wacky guy,
geezer,
it would make Johnny Depp less interesting as Jack Sparrow. So I feel like he has a very important role in these films. Because the moment they got rid of him, those films got worse.
Yeah.
Because then it was just Johnny Depp being like, I'm wacky all the time. And
probably
you
not
need
the
someone.
only reason they got. They should have made it stunt run. Do you know what I mean? Like they should have gone. Maybe don't smoke 3 joints before this scene, please, Mr. Depp.
And then he said, maybe you can go fuck yourself.
Maybe you can fuck yourself. I've just dropped some peyote. You look like a hedgehog smoking a reefer. I don't know. We've gone. I'm not going bashing Johnny Depp again. I just bash because
I'm bashing Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
Johnny Depp, please come to the show.
Look, everything you said about all the opinions I have, completely rational and logical, Nick. But I don't know why I don't like him. I just can't put my finger on it. But I don't know. Good luck to you, John. Yeah, whatever. Back to monsters. What's your favourite monster?
That's a very big question because you know me, I watch a lot of films. I'm a big horror film fan.
Yeah.
So that is a very, very difficult question, and it changes every week. My answer.
Well, all right. Rather than like specifically, what is like your type of monster? Do you prefer a type of monster movie over another? Because we haven't really got into.
Well, that's the thing. I'm a big zombie man myself, and I'd like because I was actually going to ask you this question. Zombies by themselves, they're fine. But I always like it when they kind of add a twist to the zombie.
Yeah.
For example, have you watched Wreck?
Yes.
The Spanish.
The original Spanish one.
Yes. Have you seen the sequel?
Yes.
Wreck 2. Because I like that film because it turns out they're not zombies, they're demons, and that you can use Christian imagery to fight them.
Oh, I can't remember that.
Because a guy, because they send him in with like a CID guy, the SWAT team. And it turns out he's a priest because the only way to really kill one of these demons.
Oh yeah, I do recall that. I've watched Wreck a couple of times. I think I've only seen Wreck 2 once, which was about 12 years ago. Yeah. So
Wreck 2 is underrated because they remade Wreck into Quarantine, and it's basically the exact same film.
But the I'm fed up with American remakes. Good.
Yeah.
Like all of these films, they're really original. It's the same with Ghost in the Shell and stuff, and Hollywood needs to just distribute it and then come up with your own fucking ideas. But that's a mute point. So my favourite monster.
Well, to finish, are there any zombie variations that you really like that aren't just a normal it's a zombie?
Yeah, because I remember when you mentioned the Luddites. Is it Luddites?
What film?
Deadites.
Sorry, the Deadites.
Luddites are a historical thing.
Luddites are just like guys who don't read.
Because they're like they're like zombies, but they're more like they've got a demon element
they're
to them. Yeah, and they're arseholes, and they've got extra. I quite like it when, for instance, I really quite liked Mountain's story in Game of Thrones, like how he's a kind of a zombie, but kind of not. Like, because you got the White Walkers, but then he's kind of like half dead, but not. Do you know?
I don't want to talk about Game of Thrones.
No, you hate Game of Thrones?
I hate Game of Thrones.
I hate Game of Thrones. I saw this meme earlier that just was like, think how Game of Thrones has just completely dropped out of the cultural zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Like no one talks or references anymore. And it was like a year ago, everybody would have referenced it. They fucked it so hard that literally
Do you know how bad
it's
it was?
Go on.
Like the first season, before the final season, it was like, I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
And then when it ended, there weren't even angry posts.
No,
it was just nothing.
It's just
people didn't have the interest. I'm not even gonna shit. I just don't care.
It's like watching someone that's pissed you off, but then you find out that they're so feeble that you don't even give them a slap. And you're like, I just pity you.
It's like my expectations were low, and they managed to surpass them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's seriously
terrible show. This isn't a
bad game.
This isn't a bad game for us.
I know, but at the end of the day, can I just say to the
D&D
producers?
D&D?
No.
The writers?
Yeah.
Yeah, D&D.
Who's that?
Damon Weiss and it's D&D.
Yeah, that guy. Those guys. They fucking sold it out 2 years before. They should have produced it 2 years longer to make it right. And can I just say, apart from J.K. Rowling, a big fuck you to the creators of Game of Thrones for completely fucking that thing into the fucking the plane into the mountain.
Do you know
fuck
why,
it all. No one cares about anything anymore. Standards. Fuck your standards.
Do you know why it got bad?
Why?
Because
the books aren't written.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that because they knew how it was all going to end.
Well, George R. Martin said, "Oh,
no. Well, listen, no, because
he was
George R. Martin.
Yeah.
Where's the thing? Because they kind of just rushed it. That's the problem. But the reason they rushed it is because Disney offered them the Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And they decided to rush it.
And they fucked Star Wars. No, they sacked off Star Wars, didn't they?
No, they didn't sack it off. It was the ending was so bad. Star Wars said no.
Oh wow!
So they rushed it to get to Star Wars, and Star Wars saw the shits and went, "No, we don't want you anymore." So they fucked themselves over.
Good.
And that is the beat of it. They fucked themselves over so much. They did it so badly, it ruined everything.
I hope they had a hungover moment where they saw social media.
They definitely had a realization.
They definitely must know that they fucked it. Because they can't do that again with whatever they do. Because they've still got a lot of.
No, they've got. I'm not gonna say they're not barred from like Hollywood, but they've definitely got a bit of like, listen, I need to really pay attention to what you're doing now. They could have, if they did that well, there'd be people lining up.
Exactly.
Like, we'll give you anything.
It's just
now people are going to be like, listen, if you want this, you need to do what I say.
Yeah.
They kind of screwed themselves over.
Yeah, I'm actually. This has become a bit of a bash fest on everything.
Anyway,
disappointed me.
Zombies.
Anything else disappointed you?
You
know who's the real monster in all this? J.K. fucking Rowling, the creators of Game of Thrones. Just the real monsters are people in Hollywood that don't have any fucking creative, intellectual ideas, who keep churning out the same bullshit and ruining the fucking franchises that I so hardly put my passion and soul into and belief.
You know how it's like, it turns out the real treasure were the friends who made along the way. It's like, the real monsters was J.K. Rowling and the rights of Game of Thrones. Yeah. Turns out, that's what I'm not
bashing George R. Martin, by the way.
No, George R. Martin he's a cool guy.
He's the guy. He's alright. Like, he is a very intellectual writer, and I really like he even writes about other writers and stuff, and I really like that. Anyway, zombies. Yeah. So sorry about that. Mountain Zombie, quite good. I just love the end. The only good bit of the thing is I was waiting for Clegane Gate and stuff.
Clegane Bowl.
Yeah, but they just rushed that as well. Anyway, we're going to talk about Game of Thrones. Monsters, yeah? So, monsters, you like zombies. I don't really know. I was thinking about this earlier, and there's you know me, I like the technique stuff. I like to know what's behind the point of the film. So, for instance, the first ever monster movies with like your classic Godzillas and stuff, like, you know what I mean, I like the innovation. So I like the reason why technology meant that these movies could get made. And, you know, I talked about before The Matrix and with Terminator and stuff, a lot of science fiction films, even though they talk about science fiction, the actual technology they use to produce it with all the special effects, etc., drives part of it is part of why the film is successful. And obviously, at the start of the 50s, Godzilla comes along, and that's mainly through stop motion animation and stuff like that, and a geezer in a suit or whatever. And so for that reason, like, it sort of spoke to me that the idea of the monster movie with prosthetics and stuff, the monster movie is very reliant on technology as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, Godzilla is the monster movie, the first monster movie, the giant monsters and stuff, is a reflection of empire, nuclear weapons, and the aftermath of war. As if this, you know, thing is so giant you can't control it, and
can't even kill it.
Yeah, and in that sense, the you know, what you were talking about, the central concept of what makes a monster is something that we can't communicate with. That we're obviously, the biggest thing is we are afraid of it and we don't understand it. And in that sense, the idea of a monster is wholly conceptual, and you can kind of go any way you want with it as long as you adhere to that idea. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, if I could go into a bit of a nerd talk,
you may.
H.P. Lovecraft, massive racist, but he could write a hell of a story.
Exactly.
And his entire thing was, these are things you can't understand it.
Yeah.
That's his entire thing. Is like, you can't understand it. It's like,
he was Victorian era, weren't he?
No, he was later than that.
Oh, right.
He was later than that.
I could look it up right now.
30s, I want to say, but
okay,
quite mean that. But because he was super racist, he was a real piece of shit. But like, I'd say Godzilla is kind of Lovecraftian, since like we don't understand where this thing came from.
Mhm.
We don't understand what it wants. All we know is that it's here. Like, it doesn't even know it's attacking us.
It's a good point.
Because like in the things like Cthulhu and like all the old gods, we're irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything because it's attacking us. It's just like, no, I'm just hanging around.
Yeah.
If I wake up and kill you, I don't care. I'm not like. Do you wake up and be like, oh, I'm gonna affect the ants? It's like we are nothing to them.
Yeah.
And that's the same. Like Godzilla is kind of Lovecraftian. So it's like it doesn't know it's attacking us.
That's a good point.
It's just panicking and being like, I don't know what's happening. I've got to leave.
Yeah, it's
get
acting like an animal would and protecting itself.
Yeah. So it's like we don't understand it. It's just kind of shown up and fucked us up, and it doesn't even know it's hurting us.
Yeah.
So it's kind of Lovecraftian in that sense.
That's true. It reminds me of. Have you read The Death of Superman?
I don't read that nerd shit.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, it's just like the.
I watch anime.
Yeah.
I'm a cool guy.
Right, so I've actually read the original comic of The Death of Superman. It's similar to like the Godzilla story. Like this thing comes from nowhere. They use the bad guy in the Justice League film. What's it called? It's gonna piss me off. But anyway,
Steppenwolf?
No, like the hench green thing.
Armageddon?
Yeah, and it kills.
No, Armageddon's X-Men.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, but anyway, like it's
not Darkseid.
It's this idea that like this thing just launches from its planet and it's just coming and coming and coming and coming. Sorry to flirt with you ladies, but it's just like every comic strip bit is like it just getting closer and closer to Earth, and it's just this relentless juggernaut that can't like that's unknowable and comes from nowhere like that. In the same sense, like the Joker's origin story is important because
Just when you said that, I imagine like an entire it's like you spend like £4 in the comic book. And like every page is just the comic coming closer, and you'd be like, "Oh, this is a cool page." And the next thing is a little bit closer up, and the next thing is a little bit closer up, and then you'd be like, "There's not been a single line of dialogue in this entire comic book." And
yeah, 30 pages of just dark.
And it doesn't even get to Earth by the end of it. Like you have to buy the next one.
The blue marble.
Yeah, you have to buy the next one, and it gets to Earth halfway through. And you're like, "Oh, okay, now I know what's happening."
And then the whole next issue is just them going through customs, and they finally get to the front door, and then it goes to be continued. So like just to go back, so the Joker, I know he's not a monster in terms of like rah, the idea of his unknowable, like he has no, like the concept when the Joker has no origin story in any bad guy, the bad guy's always scarier when you don't know where they've come from. And that was something that I got taught in creative writing, that like if obviously some context, but like the bad guy should always be less known than the
100%, yeah. Unless like you're trying to make a point,
because it's scarier when you don't understand. It's ultimately most scary when you can't understand something.
It's like unless you're making a point about like this is what he believes and you're doing it intentionally, you really shouldn't give that. Well, it's all show don't tell.
Yeah, exactly.
You should never, like, the moment if there was a film like Alien, for example, in the first Alien film, you don't really see it often. There's an entire scene where he's there, but you can't tell he's there.
Yeah.
Like he's when he kills the guys looking for the cat, it's like chain swinging, and you can see the alien. But because it's in dark, you can't really see it, you can't really make it out. It's much more effective. But then you juxtapose that to Alien Covenant, where it's in the daylight, and you can kind of see how, not ridiculous the alien looks, but the CGI looks. It makes it a lot less effective as a scary monster. You kind of make it, I can see everything about it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
When you can't see it, it's scary.
Yeah, because it's even in the aesthetic, isn't it, with horror films and stuff.
Like if they say you were you with friends and you were like camping or something, and
it's the sound in the bushes.
No, let's say like someone's chasing me.
Right.
That's scary, and he's grabbing people. That's very scary. But all of a sudden it's being like, oh, hey guys, I've not seen Eric in like
Timmy
2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, where's Eric gone?
Right.
And all of a sudden, wait, Ross isn't here either.
Eric's my uncle.
Where's Ross? Where's Chandler? They've not been. I just realised they're not here.
Yeah.
What? And that is, in a way,
it's
more
the way
scary.
you present it. Yeah, I agree.
Like I said, the fact that I have no idea what's taking everyone That is, in a way, scarier.
So
It might not be more shocking.
That's a good point, actually, because in your context, with the zombie, it's always scarier when they don't explain.
Well, I wouldn't say
they show how they're sort of mutating, rather than go, it was a genetic strain of virus.
Well, that's different, because I wouldn't say zombies are scary.
Right.
Zombies don't scare me. I like them.
Right.
I like the idea. And
Why?
there's a lot of zombie films. Well,
because I've got a point about this.
Well, I don't know. There's a whole, because I think zombie films, especially out of most horror films, that is a horror film where I can kind of be free in this. If I was in there, I'd be like, I'd be doing all this stuff. It's
I
kind
see
of
what you mean.
escapism.
Yeah. There's an escapism to the concept of the, zombie land, where you can go about do whatever the fuck you want, because civilization has fallen, and that idea is very powerful. I watch a lot of documentaries, and there's a powerful documentary maker, British documentary maker. Oh man, his name's completely got out of my head. But there's some very interesting. It'll come back to me. I'll look it up in a second. Right, and he has this documentary, and it's about the Iraq War, and it sort of shows Hollywood's foreboding, like, obsessional genre kind of thing. So in the late 90s, what did we have? Independence Day. We had all of these disaster movies, right, where everything gets blown up and everything ends.
Yeah, I think you brought this up to me.
I brought this up, yeah. And then we had the Twin Towers. Now, the last decade of films has been, apart from superhero films, been obsessed with zombie movies, right? And now we're living in a fucking global pandemic where a virus is spreading that we don't understand, we don't know where it come from or how it spreads properly. Do you know what I mean? Like, the virus itself is actually a trope.
You know, when
the unknowability of how you could get, or I give it to my mum or your nan. Do you know what I mean?
In zombie films, all that stuff, but you watch it.
But isn't that weird?
No,
that's serendipitous. That is serendipitous.
You know when you watch a zombie film?
Yeah.
And someone acts like an idiot.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, that's so unrealistic.
I've seen a meme about that, yeah.
And then you see how people act now and be like, oh my god, no, that is completely accurate to how we would act. We're fucking idiots.
Good bit of news, actually. In the news, it was minor news, so I didn't bother bringing it up. But I will show you now.
Oh, let's see.
The actress who plays... the actress in Black Panther, I haven't got her name because I've got rid of the article, but she shared an anti-vaxxer conspiracy video, and it got taken down. Well, she's taken it down. That's apologised because of Disney, Marvel, I assume, going, what the fuck are you doing in one of our major franchises? Don't do that. Like, just don't talk about it, please. I don't know. I mean, like, yeah.
I know.
We're talking about the unknowable stuff in regards to monsters when you literally got the threat of an unknowable virus. Like, you love zombies. Like, we literally are fucking as close to it in terms of art reflecting. Like, do you know what I mean? The obsessional kind of, like, moments in time. What does Hollywood fixate on? And then these things seem to come to pass. And it's just kind of scary to me. And that's the real monster. Is Hollywood itself. Is maybe you're just parodying our reality. J.K. Rowling creates a Game of Thrones. Is there anybody you hate?
Not really, no.
In Hollywood or just
Hollywood?
In general, a lot of people are fucking. I won't start on that.
Weinstein.
Well, yeah, obviously, that goes with that sound.
Yeah, but like all my the guy who directed Bohemian Rhapsody,
right?
Because he's a predator.
Who's that?
Singer.
Oh, is it Brian Singer? Is it?
Yeah. So the guys I hate are like people who are legitimately just awful people.
Do you not hate anybody for just what they've done, and like not their private lives, but like the work that they've done?
Nah, there's no one I can.
Because I hate like Simon Cowell for just fucking like bombarding me with X Factor.
Well, because I stay out of that stuff. Like that doesn't affect.
So do I, but it still annoys me.
And it doesn't want.
I mean, we're not talking movies.
That's for people. That's not for me. Like I'm not gonna get mad
at
someone making stuff.
Let me tell you something. They're for the people that watch Harry Potter and love it and reappropriate our own British culture to go to fucking Harry Potter world and look at some semi-detached houses that look exactly like the suburban semi-detached houses that you live in and go, oh yeah, that's Britain, that's so good, right? No. Anyway, I don't want to do that.
Homie's got like, enjoy shit. I mean, I'm not gonna get mad.
Fine, but I'm just saying, it ain't for me. I'm not gonna bash X Factor because
as long as you're not actively hurting people, I'm cool.
fine. Yeah. All right. Good point.
I don't like Michael Bay films, but I'm not going to.
No, Michael Bay, another wanker. I'm trying to think. Apart from that, I'm fairly all right with it all. You know.
Yeah.
I'll let it slide. So yeah. So Nick.
So I'm a zombie guy. What is your?
So my number one favourite monster movie is The Thing. I think I've discussed it before. It just blew my mind, like in terms of the practical effects. I think it's pretty clear by now. Episode like 16. I fucking hate shitty CGI. I get it.
I think that's a mutual thing.
Yeah,
I think at least once
everybody hates it because it ruins. I'll tell you what shit CGI is to me is like the concept of the musical, right? The reason why I hate musicals, and I know I've been quite negative today, and I've been just gonna get fucking hammer out, just go order. That's my John Burkow impression. You won't. It was the former leader of the House of Commons, Speaker of the House of Commons. Sorry. But anyway,
I don't even know what the current Speaker of the House of Commons is.
He's not as good, but he's all right. Anyway, so he was way more famous, John Burkow.
Yeah, I'm sure
15 years. Anyway, and right. So what was I saying? I hate. I was saying so bad CGI is like a musical to me, right? The concept of musical. When you're in an emotional, in reality, in my reality, right? If I'm going on my daily whatever, and I go, it's raining, singing in the rain. You're breaking the like fourth wall for me because I can't believe the kind of acting and stuff. When you burst into song, because that is not a human reaction that is natural, right? And so when you see bad CGI, you can disagree with me on that, by the way.
Yeah,
I can see your face.
No, I would disagree with you on that.
I can see your face, but for me, that is what it means, right? Is you're breaking the emotional reality of the scene by just bursting into song, and that wouldn't naturally occur in real life. So I instantly go, oh, for fuck's sake. And I'm sorry that I do that. But I just do. I don't know. It's probably I can admit my own limitation in being able to engage with that kind of content.
Yeah.
I've got better as I've got older.
With those, I think.
But that's for me. Bad CGI.
With musicals,
and like breaks the.
With musicals, you kind of have to accept that this is a world where people different a song.
I think I'm like an angry wanker.
Do you get annoyed in like action films when they don't reload?
No, but that's brilliant. In Deep Rising, that's how I knew they were so tongue-in-cheek, because they fucking go through like 3 minutes and they fire thousands of bullets and they never have to reload.
No, but it's like there's some.
But I find that amusing.
No, but
as long as you do it tellingly.
Yeah, but that's because you're a fan of the genre.
Yes.
If you're not a fan, if you're a fan of the genre, you're willing to excuse weird stuff.
This is what I've got to say.
If you're not a fan of musicals, you'll go more into it.
When I'm watching a musical, basically my initial response to musicals is like someone that's walked into a pub, unbeknownst to them, there's a comedy night on with a bunch of goddamn liberals, and I'm like, UKIP, Tory councillor sort of geezer. I've gone in there. I've had a row with the missus, right? Because she's got parking fines, right? And I'm having to wait for the car to get unclapped. So I thought, right, I'll have a little IPA on my own in a quiet pub. Fucking comedy night on. It's making a hell of a lot of noise. I haven't gone there. When you go to a comedy night, you're emotionally. Hang on, let me finish the thought. You're emotionally ready to laugh at comedy, so you're already more ready than someone who's just like, don't you fucking start telling me jokes. And I'm like that guy. I'm like, this is not what I'm here for, and I don't know why they're doing it.
I'm trying to help you. It's like, if you said, because you said, I'm a right-wing UKIP guy.
I'm not.
No, but that's what you said. You could have just said.
That was a metaphor.
Yeah, I know, but like, you could have said just normally, going like, if I like going, it's a comedy night, guys, and be like, and this one goes like, fucking immigrants, and everyone's like, yeah. You'd be more,
good point.
That would be a better example.
I'd be offended. Yeah.
Exactly. You'd be like, this isn't why I'm here.
Yeah.
This is a completely wrong.
Yeah, but I'm saying that actually what they do in what their musicals over there is actually probably alright for most people. But I am viscerally, subjectively fucking just. I don't know why. I watched this brilliant film on Netflix a couple of weeks ago. It's about this Latina girl that goes to space, and there's this goddess of the moon. It's really good. I'm really sorry that I don't have it to hand, but
I don't know. I don't know about
we'll talk about this off air because
Yeah.
I'm going way off piece. But yeah, musicals to me are like the CGI, bad CGI. Like it breaks the reality for me, and that's my metaphor. And I stick in with it.
To be fair, bad CGI for me, just so we both can be like,
Yeah.
okay, if we mention it, this is why.
Yeah.
It depends on the film.
Yeah.
If it's like some 90s film, I can accept it and be like, okay, that's fine.
That's
your best.
I'm gonna find a musical with really bad CGI from the 90s. I'm just fucking.
I know, but it's like if we watch a 90s film and it's got bad CGI, I'm willing to let that slide. It's the 90s.
Okay.
If I see a bad,
a
needless CGI
now, fuck about
then
it.
I'm annoyed because I'm like, you can do it better.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's like? Do you remember when that woman tried to cover up a painting of Jesus?
Oh yeah.
And it made monkey Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. Going,
yeah.
If you can do it normally.
Yeah, I get annoyed with that.
Like if you can do practical effects, do practical effects, because otherwise you're just making monkey Jesus. You're making it worse.
That's why I like with the new Jurassic World films and other. There's a bunch of productions now that are going back to more practical effects because they get it, and the real monetary, like saving money.
Well, it doesn't even save money; it's more expensive to do it.
And it's just stupid.
Yeah.
Right. So with the practical effects thing, the Thing monster, absolute number one. The scariest. What's the most scared you've ever been at a film or or a monster, like in general? Because I've got a perfect example. It's on the list.
In terms of films don't really scare me.
So you've never been a child and been genuinely frightened?
No, if we're talking about child,
have you ever been scared of anything in your life, Nick, or are you just
it's a lot of time? No, when I get scared, When I get scared, it's because I played a lot of video games as a kid. And what scared me were video games, like Resident Evil and Silent Hill.
And Doom.
But one.
Oh wait,
no, because Doom's more of a shooter. That's more like I've got guns.
That scared me.
One film that terrified me.
Yeah.
Like just really scared me was Child's Play.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen it.
Well, you know who it is.
Yeah,
right?
Chucky.
And my sister, me and my sister shared a room. And she had a lot of porcelain dolls.
Oh man, oh, fuck that.
So she put them in the wardrobe.
Yeah.
But because the wardrobe was so thick, was so full, it wouldn't close correctly.
Right.
So one door was always open. So I'd always sleep with these
porcelain
dolls just staring at me.
I had a dream about that.
But then but at that point I was like, that's kind of creepy.
That's well creepy.
And then I saw the trailer for Child's Play. And
has it got that sort of pattern?
No, it's just like, I'm a doll that kills people. And I was like 6, 7, scared the shit out of me. I was terrified of dolls. Well, I was terrified of Child's Play until I was like 17.
Wow.
I hated it. Then I watched Child's Play. That film's hilarious.
Yeah, it's supposed to be funny.
That's a funny film. That he's like it's like a Freddy Krueger sort of thing where he's like making jokes. I watched it. I was like,
it's metatextual.
Yeah, and I was like, as a child, this scared me. I finally watched. I was like, this film's just funny. It's not a scary film. But what scares me are because I played more video games and watched films as a child. So what scared me was like in Resident Evil, it's the dog jumping through the window in the first Resident Evil.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that scared me.
Fucking scares the
Silent
shit out of
Hill.
You. That is scary. I played that.
Silent Hill's got upset. Silent Hill 2 scared me. Resident Evil 2 scared me. Resident Evil 2 didn't scare me.
Nick's side project of his gaming podcast
well,
is available to stream now.
But for after that. I didn't get scared of anything
because I think when you play games like that,
because it
doesn't because you're physically interacting with it. You feel like you're in space. Yeah, you have to force yourself through it, and that's why it's probably easier for you to watch.
But the last thing that really scared me was there was it's called PT. It's called Playable Trailer,
right?
And it was released on PS4 by my hero Hideo Kojima,
right?
Director of Metal Gear Solid.
All right.
And it is the scariest thing I've ever played.
Right.
And Konami cancelled it because it was going to be it was this new Silent Hills.
Right.
And Konami cancelled it. And that game is the scariest thing I've probably played ever.
Why?
It's difficult to explain.
Yeah.
I will bring my PlayStation here. I will make you play it.
Oh man, you're gonna fucking make me die.
That game. That trailer is.
The last
incredible
scary game I played was, and this is dating me because basically, for a bit of context as to why I don't game, is when I got to 15, just when the PS3 is about to get launched, all my mates were hardcore PC gamers with WoW, Dota, everything. Like, so every weekend going around there, and so it quickly became like I was so out of it.
Out your own depth. Yeah.
I reckon I'll do the booze and girls. I reckon I'll go clubbing, and that's how I fill my time. And so I just left it to them. The last scary game I played was Manhunt, and that got banned.
Oh, Manhunt's not good.
No.
But the second one's decent.
Yeah?
Yeah, the second one's alright.
So, yeah. So back to movie.
Back to movies. Yeah.
My favourite movie monster is The Thing. But the scariest one is Brundlefly.
I've got that on my list. That's on my list.
So what happened to me? I was about 11 or 12 years old.
That is on my list.
I got the flu, right? Proper bad. And my temperature. So a couple of days before I got the flu, I saw The Fly, right? Scared the shit out of me. You can sleep all night. It's a gory film for a young child to watch. It's not. I would not let. If I had an 11-year-old child, I would not let them watch The Fly. It's got sex in it. It's got loads of violence. It's disgusting.
It's got a very half-naked Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, and for that reason, like, I should not have been introduced to that film. But it is a genius. Don't get me wrong. It's fucking genius. It's a bit Lovecraftian as well.
That's Cronenberg.
Yeah,
and Cronenberg, he does great body horror. Cronenberg's one of my favourite directors. I love Cronenberg.
Yeah, he's alright, but it scared the shit out of me. And so what happened was I had the flu, and my temperature went. I don't know what the temperature is when you hallucinate, but it had such a visceral effect on me as a kid, because I'm 12 years old. I've watched this fucking really scary horror film. Also, the concept of like body horror and like his mutation, and when he's fucking, him throwing up on his food, like it's disgusting. It is. I've been used to fucking Power Rangers and Batman, and someone goes, watch The Fly, and it was like my dad had it on video, and it's like one of those things when your parents go, no, these are the videos you can't watch. I'd fucking get up in the morning or really late night and go and put them on, because I was like, I want to see the things the adults see, and then I'd fuck myself up because of it. And then what happened? I got the flu, and I hallucinated all about The Fly, and as a hallucinogenic experience with a horror film that I was not prepared for at a very young age, that fucking, it traumatized me. It legit, my whole family know that you do not fucking, apart from the snowman when I was a toddler, my mum used to put the snowman on whenever I was naughty to make me cry, which is my visceral
It's weird because if I ever wanted to be truly horrified as a child, they'd put on the snowman.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, so The Fly, Brundlefly for me is the number one fucking scariest thing I've ever seen.
I love The Fly. Fly. But I was never told to not watch it because I didn't know it existed.
Right.
So I never actively saw it. I saw it when I was like 17.
Yeah. And then I would have been fine. Yeah. What about Fly 2? Have you seen Fly 2?
Fly 2 is... I kind of forget about it a lot of times.
It's quite
because it's like... It's his son.
Yeah. Because she has a baby.
She has a baby.
But then the baby fucking grows up within 2 years. It becomes an adult.
Yeah.
Because it's genetically mutated, and then it starts going, it's fucked. It's really weird.
Yeah. But one thing that I do find I've always liked is not to be specific, but generic Asian ghosts with long hair. Because I remember when because The Grudge and The Ring American remakes came out, because that was my first introduction to the
that is a
series.
Trope.
And those films, I've actually I lied earlier in this, like, those films scared me.
Right.
Because it was something that was completely unknown to me. Like, the idea of the, like...
Whoa. No more lying, Nick.
I like lying. Lying's fun. But, like, The Grudge scared the shit out of me when I first watched it. I think I was, like, 13 when I watched that. Ringu
scared the shit out of me.
Ringu...
And I was 20. I was like...
Yeah, like, those films scared me. And the idea of girl, long black hair, white dress...
Yeah.
That's kind of become a joke a little bit.
Yeah.
But that is still one of my, in terms of like...
There's probably a lot of porno about that.
100% is.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll definitely. I know that for a fact.
You know that for a fact.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah. You got a lot of time.
But if I had to like say what is, in my opinion, is the most scared I've ever been.
Right.
It's probably that.
Right.
Long hair.
Because I think there's a certain, like, obviously the concept of the monster is only, like, monsters are for children. When you grow up, you know that monsters aren't real. And so as an adult, I feel like the central concept, along with like the unknowability, the unknowable nature of a monster comes from inexperience, comes from being a child and not knowing what this is out there. You know, if I'm a hunter, and I'm in the woods in the dark, and something rustles, then you probably calculate its weight, its trajectory. You've got so much understanding and a sort of more
that you know what it is.
Yeah, maturity where you go, well, I've got this fucking gun in my hand,
and that's a rabbit,
and that's probably a rabbit. It's not a bear, so therefore I'm not scared of it. Whereas if you're 5 years old and you've ran into the fucking woods, it goes.
Not even 5 years. If you're like a 28-year-old,
and
you're in the woods, and you're like, oh, fuck, is that a wolf?
Just no knowledge, and no fucking clue. You're probably that is it in essence. So that's the sort of like heart of what it is to be a fucking monster, I suppose. That being said, Nick, would you like to be quizzed on the top 20?
Before I do that, can I just give two?
Yes.
There's two films I'll talk about. One of them is the film It Follows.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say because I feel like I recommended this to you.
You did, and I bottled it the other night. And my girlfriend said, "Do you want to watch it?"
It's a sex demon, and it represents AIDS.
Is it?
Yeah. If you have sex, it follows you. Basically, you contract the demon, and if you have sex with someone, it goes to them.
So it's the same as with The Ring. So like the video gets passed
on,
but
like if you give it to them, it will go after them.
Right.
Except if it kills them, it will go back to you. But
wait, what?
So if you
that's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
I would hate that.
Yeah.
So you check someone to get rid of it, and then they get murdered, and it comes back.
Yeah. It Follows, and because I think It Follows, it's not necessarily the most scary. It's got some very good jump scares.
It's like psychologically thrillery kind of scary.
Not really. It's more like it will like fit. You'd be like, oh, jump scare. Oh no. Oh no, there it is.
Oh right, okay.
Sort of that sort of stuff. And
it's like a remix of the jump scare.
Kinda, where like the jump scare comes like 3 seconds after you'd expect.
Okay, cool.
And that kind of hits you. And my favourite in terms of personality monster is the penis demon from Brain Damage.
I have no idea what any of that is.
You might have. Brain Damage is directed by Frank Henenlotter. You might know who he is. Have you ever heard of a film called Basket Case? Where it's a guy carrying around his Siamese twin that got cut off, and he's in a basket.
No.
Really? Oh my god!
I'm really sorry.
I've heard that. His most famous films are Basket Case and the film Frankenhooker.
Right.
And if you're wondering what Frankenhooker's about, it's exactly how it sounds. Like
so it's a fucking Frankenstein hooker.
Yeah.
A prostitute dressed like
it's from hookers.
Bunch of hookers. What is it? Someone trying to create them ideal?
They're trying to. Yeah, basically, they're trying to bring back their girlfriend, and they go like, they just hire hookers and do that.
Sounds awful.
It's actually a very good film. I prefer that. It was a very interesting. Frank Henenlotter, please come to the show. But Basket Case is very.
J.K. Rowling is not invited.
Brain Damage.
Unless you want to fucking debate me, bitch. Anyway.
But Brain Damage, it's a very good film. A guy kills people, but a guy helps a thing feed on people, and in exchange, it gives him like hallucinatory drugs.
Fuck me, man.
And gives him euphoria.
You are into some weird shit.
I'm into weird.
That is weird.
But Brain Damage, it's probably the most. Recently, it's probably the best film I've watched recently. It's not good, but I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
But yeah, Brain Damage, Frank Henenlotter, please come to the show. But yeah, so you want to give me a quiz?
I do indeed want to give you a quiz, Nick. So, Quiznik. Quiznik sounds like Nesquik or is Nesquik? What's Nesquik?
It's a cereal.
Yeah. What's the Are you sure? What about the milkshake?
That's also Nesquik.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nesquik sounds a cereal. So this is the rabbit.
Yeah.
And then he made a milkshake.
Which is really. Do you think the Nesquik rabbit is a monster?
No, he's a rabbit.
Do you think any rabbit characters are monsters? Like Bugs Bunny, is he a monster?
For what he does to that poor hunter, yeah.
Yeah, he's just torturing him, really. So I've got here the Den of Geek top 100 TV and movie monsters. It would be ridiculous for us to do the top 100, but the top 20 is a mixture of obvious and less obvious, like the best I disagree with some of these, but
I know for a fact I will.
You're going to not be impressed with some of these either. But I wanted to gauge your mind, Nicholas, and find out what you would guess as the top 20. So, or do you want me to do the top 10?
Well, no, do 20, but have you written all them down so you can just cross out if I get them right?
No.
Because that would probably be easier.
I mean, I could, but I mean...
Because then you can give me hints on if I on things.
Okay, because you're not going to be able to... No, yeah, good idea. Right, how about I'll come up with a synopsis of like the least obvious way I could describe this monster.
Yeah.
So number 20, I would say hairy dog man.
Is it the werewolf?
Yeah, it's specifically an American werewolf
in London.
In London, which I think when they do those special effects, that is the
best werewolf transformation.
Yeah, 100%. That's number 20. Number 19. Give you a clue. It's in Star Wars.
The Rachnar?
Yes, Rancor. Return of the Jedi.
I didn't know how it was pronounced. That explains why I said Rachnar.
But it is ugly as fuck.
That explains why I said Rachnar, because it's a Mass Effect.
Yeah. I don't think this should be in it. I don't understand this. Number 18. It's in Jurassic Park, but it ain't the fucking T-Rex.
The Raptors?
No.
Oh, is it one of the newer films?
It's newer, yeah, but it's not Jurassic World.
Oh. Is it the Doctor?
No, apparently it's the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3. I'll read this out loud. While seeing the T-Rex for the first time...
Can you make it so I can't see the rest of the answers? Because I want to see which one this is.
Well, this is number 18.
I know, but can you scroll up so I can't see 17 today?
Oh, you just want me to...
I just want to see 18.
Show you the bit. Okay, well, I've got the text here. I've got that one.
Oh, yeah, I know what it is. Because for me, I thought this was one of the smaller ones.
Yeah, no, I don't. I have no recollection of that.
Also, if that's on 3, that's like a shit film.
It's such a shit film. What are you doing? That's. Yeah. It should be the T-Rex
or the Raptor.
I think they should be included. Like dinosaur, T-Rex, and Raptors. Yeah, they're important in movie history. Do you know what I mean? Like the glass, the water. Everybody knows that bit. Number 17.
Jeff Goldblum ain't even in the third film. I'm pretty sure.
No, he wouldn't do it. Sam Neill's in it, isn't he? But it's rubbish. Talking of Jeff Goldblum, number 17, Brundlefly.
I've written a list of things I thought could be on it, and one of them.
Okay, right. So yeah, that is the 17th scariest monster. Number 16. My clue. I'm going to give you a hard clue for this.
Yeah.
I brought the franchise up, and I've spoken about all of this several times.
So is it Harry Potter?
No.
Or is it Labyrinth?
No. Very close.
So it's the puppet stuff. Oh, God.
Come on. I can do a bloody good impression of one of them. Gelfling.
I don't know what they're called, but they're creepy as fuck, and I don't like it. Skeksis, yeah.
They're scary as fuck, mate. Like, honestly, I watched the original film when I was really
They're the vulture,
they're vulture, ugly bastards. They are so grotesque.
Do you know what? The good guys are uglier than the vultures.
Oh, they look shit, but
they're not. They look shit. They're
in
disgusting.
the new, no, they don't.
I hate watching them talk.
You don't like Oh shit! You've got the Skeksis.
No, I like the
characters. You have the Gelfling. Yeah,
I like the characters, but I hate watching them move and talk because it's Uncanny Valley-esque.
I don't know what that is.
So Uncanny Valley is the close. Eventually, so CG. Well, the best term CG. It looks bad.
Yeah.
It looks okay. Oh, it looks good. It looks too good.
Yeah.
Where it looks creepy.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point where it's like I can't tell. For me, it's so close to how humans kind of look.
Alright, that's
where it kind of grosses me out.
Right.
But yeah, so Skeksis.
Yeah. Skeksis, number 16. 15. One of the most influential horror films ever. Body horror, goth shit to the extreme.
Body horror.
Like body mutilation, manipulation.
Is it Pazuzu from The Exorcist? The Thing?
Nope.
Can you give me another hint?
You'd have to spend some money in a hardware store to get his look.
Pinhead.
The Cenobites. The Cenobites from Hellraiser. Yeah. Very good. Demons to some, angels to others.
Yeah. That's also that's the fucking great line. It's like it's an
interesting concept.
Stop your tears. So much wasted sadness or something like that. Like, oh god, I love that.
Number 14. This is probably most uncool entry. He's got a locker.
Davy Jones?
Yeah, from Pirates of the fucking Caribbean. You can
what, Squid Man?
Yeah.
No, he shouldn't be on the
Rubbish. This is the one, apart from a couple of others that I read, that sounds genuinely fucking really interesting, but you're not going to get it. I'm just going to tell you. Number 13 is Vermithrax Pejorative from Dragon Slayer in 1981. Right? I haven't seen this film, but I'm going to go and watch it. This is what they say about it. And this sounds really interesting because it's something I've never heard of.
I've heard of the name.
But the technique, I've heard the name. But the technique they use, this is fucking interesting, specifically for the time. So it says, Dragon Slayer is probably one of the best fantasy films of the time, and it's certainly noted by fans as having the best dragon. The 400-year-old lava-spewing Vermithrax, an angry flying ball of hate brought to the screen by Phil Tippett.
I didn't see it.
Okay.
I recognise that pit. Yeah. I recognise it. But I think that's because someone's about dragons.
So this is the reason why I found it, because I like all the techniques and that. Yeah. His go motion animation technique made Vermithrax look extremely fluid and realistic without the aid of computers, and over 25 years later puts more recent dragons like Eragon and the numerous fire breathers of Harry Potter to shame. A dark, brooding adult fantasy tale, Dragon Slayer is filled with virgin sacrifices, people burned alive, cross-dressing, and a dirty, gritty realm in which the malevolent dragon Vermithrax rules supreme.
Sounds like a film for me.
Sounds quite good. Yeah, alright. Second most bullshit entry in the top 20. It's a Doctor Who villain.
Dalek?
No.
Cyberman?
Because the Daleks are quite out there. Daleks are well out.
Cyberman?
There's no Weeping Angels.
Yeah, okay, I can kind of see it.
Are they good though?
I like the concept, yeah.
I don't know.
The Weeping Angels, if you look at them, they don't move.
Right.
And if you blink, they're just closer to you.
Right.
They're a cool concept.
I've never heard of this film. So, I mean, you probably have because you've got some knowledge compared to my terrible. This is a film directed by Michael Mann and it stars Ian McKellen. And it looks scary as fuck from what I've read about this. An adult fantasy tale.
I might know it, but
no,
I'm not big on
It's called The Keep film. Do you know who the bad guy is in The Keep?
I do know The Keep, but I can't.
Have you seen it?
I've not seen it.
Mollisar.
Make sure I don't see the next name.
Hang on. You can't really see me this. It's better if I just explain it to you. Although the book on which the film is based is just one of a lengthy series of adult fantasy tales, the film version of this ancient monster is visually fantastic and shows all the flair expected of director Michael Mann's eye for detail. Thanks to Mann and a stellar cast including Jürgen Prochnow, Gabriel Byrne and Ian McKellen, not to mention a haunting soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, this oddity exceeded all expectations and has become something of a cult classic, with Mollisar himself being one of the reasons why the film works so well. From his initial release from another dimension, anyway, Into the Keep.
Is that a BC Boys?
Right? Yeah, that's Intergalactic. Yeah. Though a superb mix of special effects, photography, model work, and animation, to his initial manifestation as a creature of smoke and lights, to his final form as a muscle-toned behemoth, the creature effects. Much like the rest of the film.
I have heard of this. I've heard of this film.
I want to go and watch it.
I recognise
those two last films.
I recognise the poster.
Yeah. Dragon Slayer and The Keep. I want to go and fucking watch big time now.
I recognise the poster though.
Right, we're in the top 10 now, baby. And number 10. I'll give you a clue. How can I give you? I'll just do it. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Okay, so that's the that's Deep Blue Sea.
You taking the piss?
That's Jaws. That's
Yay.
Jaws. Yeah.
I love that. I saw a gag once where have you heard of the Jaws the musical?
No. I've not.
Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, that's a classic joke. Number 9. Alright, number 9. The greatest Star Trek villain.
The Borg?
Yes! I love the Borg because actually, the Borg's very interesting between me and you.
Yeah.
And whoever else listens to the podcast, which is about 7 other people.
I don't think there's 7 of them. Maybe 3.
3, and then the rest are bots.
Yes.
Yes. But we do this. We do this for the love, and
it's the love of the game.
So the Borg are probably one of the most interesting versions of zombies. I don't know what your concept, whether or not you agree with that or not.
I wouldn't say they're zombies because for me zombies have because they're a hive mind. I wouldn't say zombies have a hive mind. They're just going on instinct, personally. But right. If someone said they're zombie-esque because they do capture and convert, then yeah. But for me, zombies have
have a trope of the zombie to them. They look a bit.
There's definitely been Sliver. Yeah. That's a zombie film where they're a hive mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a definitely okay. Yeah, I can see
it's there. This I agree with. Right. The greatest portrayal of the devil.
Bedeviled? Legion?
No.
Oh, I don't know
this. In terms of the fucking geezer himself. Have you heard of Legend in 1985 by Ridley Scott?
I just said Legend, didn't I?
No, you said Legion.
Oh, I meant Legend.
Legend.
I meant Legend.
The Darkness. That geezer.
Legend, yeah.
He's massive. He's fucking properly scary.
Yeah, it's Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the whole film. I quite want to go and watch that as well.
Tom Cruise.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I might go and watch that tonight actually because Jesus Christ, is that guy scary in that film? Like, he's massive. The prosthetics are incredible, and he's properly rapey. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like they fully go to the sexual. Like, they don't mess about with it and go, "Oh, I might be a bit naughty." He's fucking completely evil, and it's like, he looks and everything. It's just so good. Number 7. Del Toro.
Pale Man?
Bosh.
I
got it.
Because he is the best Del Toro.
I haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth's really good. Yeah. That's a great film.
It looked creepy and scary to me, and it wasn't my thing when it came out.
It's kind of a fairy tale sort of thing.
Yes, because it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
it's not a horror film, is it?
It's not a horror film.
What is it about? What is Pan's Labyrinth about?
There's like I think it's the Spanish.
Is it similar to Labyrinth?
Civil War? No, it's nothing. It's like I think it's the Spanish Civil War, and it's like she escapes to this world,
right?
And there's like and you got like the Pale Man, and it's her. It's basically her. It's like I have to get through this to beat this real world scenario.
I see. So it's a bit magic realism.
Yeah. Pan's Labyrinth. It's not my favourite Del Toro.
Yeah. All right.
But it's probably his best.
Okay.
It's not my favourite.
I mean, yeah, it's the most popular, isn't it? So number 6 on movie and TV monsters. This one is a classic. This is a Greek classic. The best of the big.
Medusa?
Bosh! You got it again, Medusa.
Oh, fuck! Good fuck!
You've done well, mate. You've fucking done well there. That's so yeah, the most famous of
Gorgons. She's a Gorgon.
Yeah, of the Greek mythology.
I have a bit of an advantage in that because I fucking love Greek mythology.
Oh, okay, that's quite cool, man. Right. Number 5. Now these are getting like, hang on, yeah. Oh yeah.
Is it a bit obvious?
These are the big boys now. 5 down. These are the and you don't agree with some of them.
No, kind of.
I'm a fan of some of them, but this is 5.
Heavy
4,
hitters.
3, 2, 1. These are the heaviest hitters in the game. These are your fucking Anthony Joshua's, Tyson Fury's.
Alright, so
the
heavyweights.
Anything
happens, is the Thing one of them?
Yes.
Is the Xenomorph one of them?
Yes.
Is the Predator one of them?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got...
Your guess is to get the right order, not to know what they are.
Okay.
So you've got 2 more there, and I would say the other 2 more famous.
Okay. Give me the... Okay, give me an idea of 5. I'm going to say 5's Predator.
No.
Is it The Thing?
No.
Is it Alien?
No.
Okay, so you need to give me some tips then if I don't know what it is.
I'm trying to think of a clue I can give you that would give it away, but it's so famous that I can't give you anything.
The Exorcist?
No. Proper. I'll just give you it.
King Kong.
King Kong.
So one of the other one's Godzilla.
Yes.
Oh god, I didn't even think about that.
So that was 5. Number 4. What's number 4, motherfucker?
Okay, is it Predator?
Yes! Number 4 is
then
Predator.
I'm gonna go for Alien.
No, hang on. Number 3.
Yeah, Alien.
You're saying Alien is 3.
No, The Thing. The Thing is 3.
The Thing is number 3.
Alien.
No!
Really? Godzilla?
Godzilla is
Then
number
Alien.
2. The Xenomorph is numero uno, baby.
Alien number 1.
Yeah, they said, well, it really had to be, didn't it? The most shockingly brilliant creature to ever grace the silver screen came courtesy of Ridley Scott and H.R. Giger. A mix of organic and industrial beauty. This monster, with its shark-like colouring.
H.R. Giger, please come to the show.
Yeah. Is he alive? Yeah, I was going to say.
Probably not.
Slick design and row upon row of teeth, get back in there, little mouth, is the ultimate predator, and truly was one of the first man-shaped creatures to actually look alien. That is true. The classic quote, I admire its beauty, a survivor, unclouded by conscience, remorse, or delusions of morality. It's the ultimate monster that stands the test of time. I think that's true. I think the Xenomorph...
What film's that from? That sounds like Alien 4.
No, sorry, that was part quote, and then that was me.
Oh, because I was like, that sounds like Alien 4, the worst film.
No, it ended with morality. Sorry, I was just reading the rest of it. But I personally agree with them. Do you think the Xenomorph is the number 1 movie monster of all time?
I'd say yeah, actually.
I would generally say blood, its quickness, its strength.
Alien is definitely...
Because I liked Alien Covenant for Fassbender. I liked the idea of the android concept in that. I thought the Xenomorph...
Well, the thing about those films...
was rubbish.
The thing about those films is that the alien is the least interesting part. And Prometheus... Because that's an alien film. It's like the alien part of that is the least interesting part of that film. Same with Alien Covenant. But Alien, I'm a big Alien fan. I really like the third one, and a lot of people hate the third one.
Right.
But I think to me the third one is the most experimental.
Right.
Fourth one is awful.
Right.
Because that's
Alien Resurrection.
Yes, Resurrection is a terrible film.
Terrible
film.
I've seen that more than Alien 3 though. That's
Alien 3.
I bought the Alien quadrilogy on DVD for $45.
You only need to buy the first 2.
I know.
You only need to buy the first 2.
I'm not buying any of them now.
No, but a lot of people hate the third one, and I think the third one might be the one I like the most.
Right. That's the one with Hellboy guy in it.
Yes, no, Ron Perlman's in the fourth one.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yes,
fucked up.
3 has the guy from Mindhunter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got the teardrop.
Oh yeah.
And it's got Charles Dance.
Yes, it does have Charles Dance.
Yeah, the third one. The third one might be my favourite because I don't know about you, but I do get influenced by other reviews.
Yeah. That's why you don't watch trailers and stuff.
I don't. I try to keep away from reviews and trailers because I watch the quadrilogy.
I've got nothing to do these days, so I have to read movie reviews.
I watched the quadrilogy in like one day, and I was like 15.
Wow.
And I was like, Alien 1, I knew everyone said this film's really good.
Yeah.
Alien 2,
everyone said this
film's really good, but I didn't hear anything about the third or the fourth.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Third film, I thought was actually very interesting. I thought it had like a very good concept because it went back to the whole one alien and the whole like.
I agree with you there. That is a good point.
Yeah, it's like we need to kill you to stop all this stuff.
Yeah.
The fourth one I watched it and be like, everyone, and then I read the reviews like, everyone said Alien 3 was awful. I really liked it. And then I watched Alien 4, and then was it? Everyone said Alien 4 was awful.
And you agreed with them.
And then I watched it and I was like, they're giving this too much credit. This one was dreadful.
Yeah.
Alien 4 is possibly the worst one I've watched.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like intentionally watched.
Yeah.
Because there have been films that I've watched where I'm like, yeah, I kind of knew this was going to be shit.
Yeah, that's the whole me talking about musicals with walking into a comedy club you're not ready for. I agree with you.
Well, because
I mean, I agree with you most of the time.
Because I would say Game of Thrones is the worst show I've watched.
Like in terms of going like from its promise to its downfall.
But because if a show's bad when I start watching it, I generally don't watch it.
Yeah.
So for me to finish a show,
that's a very good point. Is it worse?
Because there have been shows that have been worse that I've stopped watching.
Yeah, but it's like at least they're being consistent.
Yeah.
Does consistency in content with films and TV? Is Game of Thrones a work? Like, is it completely unspeakably shit because of how like the downturn? Whereas if something's just like that, if it's just flatlining like a fucking dead person on a fucking hospital bed, then is that more I think it's more acceptable. I think I agree with you about that.
Yeah, well, since like there are films that are worse, but I've stopped watching.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I've watched it.
Yeah. So.
But I think Alien Port is the worst film It's definitely the most disappointing film I've watched.
Yeah. So to conclude, I suppose the real worst monster in Hollywood is fucking mediocrity.
No, it's produced, it's business.
It's the execs.
Well, we didn't talk about
motherfuckers.
So it's Godzilla.
Yeah.
Which that should be there.
Yeah.
Predator, which you and me disagree with.
Yeah, you agree. You don't think.
I don't think Predator should be there.
Well, in terms of design, he is fucking awesome.
I love Predator, but I don't think he's a monster.
You'd be mates with him.
For me, a monster needs to be someone you can't.
So you think in some kind of environment you'd be able to communicate with the Predator?
Well, yeah, because in Predator 2 they communicate with Danny Glover.
I can't fucking remember.
In Predator 2, they like go and here's a gun, like he's like an old.
Oh yes.
Gun.
Yeah.
If you earn a Predator's
at the end, all right.
They're your boy.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, the concept that he's this intergalactic big game hunter, right? Is quite cool. Like, it's fucking unique. And his design, his prosthetics are unique. The mouth.
In terms of design,
he's a monster in terms of monster design,
I love
right?
Predator, but the moment you get to the point where it's like, I can communicate with you.
I agree.
If they made a film...
But I think his design as a monster is iconic and better than... Yeah, it's one of those.
Better than a lot. But it's like, if they could have a film where there's 1,000 years ahead, and they could make a film where it's like humans are in space and are like a space technology, like that we're like taking over planets, and predators are someone we trade with.
Well, he's just bantering, isn't he? He's just going about going, I don't want to take over your civilization. I don't want to fuck with you in general. Well, I want what he like. The big game idea is fucking really interesting to me because when it's alien invasions or technology taking over in the Terminator or like the giant monster of Godzilla that can threaten civilization. He doesn't care about your civilization. He just wants to see if I can have a row with you.
The Terminator is more of a monster than the Predator is, in my opinion. Because if they could make a film set 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
I didn't explain spoiler the last time. Where humans are a spacefaring.
We're a multi-planetary species. Yeah.
Where they could have diplomacy with predators.
Right. Yeah.
And they could be okay. We'll avoid this area.
Okay, yeah.
That's your area. We'll just stick around here. With the alien, we can't enter diplomacy with them.
All right, okay. I'll take you up on that.
We can't enter diplomacy with. If there's a possibility where, like, in 1 billion years' time, we could be cool with these guys. For me, they're not a monster.
All right. I'll concede, but I still feel like in terms of when we're talking about the film in general, the idea of a film with the design, prosthetics, the concept of the character itself of the Predator, I think it's quite scary and quite interesting. I think it's quite unique. But I agree with you. If we were to do a Star Trek and say, well, this is an alien species, what we're talking about is, when it's unknowable, and this is the reason why I would counter your argument, is because of the nature of Predator 1. Right?
Yeah.
When we can't see it the whole time, that's when it's a monster. When it reveals itself, and we have the sequence with Arnie putting the mud in his face to do all that, and they're coming out of the water. When it's revealed,
the moment he decides to not kill the unarmed woman,
or the bit where he says anytime, and we know that he can imitate human anytime.
I would say it's different because that's kind of him
mocking. And sort of like,
but the moment, because they're going like, okay, it could be like fucking with you, but the moment he goes like, I'm not going to target the unarmed person, it's like, okay, so it has a sense of morality.
Yeah. It's an intelligent being. That's the point. Is that it's an intelligent being. So I agree with you on the conceptual point of it, but I think the way we interpret it as an audience, I think he's a monster for at least half the film.
No, just
we're getting like we're being really
just real quick. If someone says these are my top 5 movie monsters, and someone said number 1's Predator, I'd be like, Predator's not a monster. I'd be like, yes, Predator's a monster.
Yeah,
it's
clearly
you would
consider
it's clearly a monster. It's clearly a monster.
Thank Nick has back down for once.
But like, if I had
wait, is J.K. Rowling a monster yet? Or?
Yeah, no, she's always a monster. She's a turf. She's a turf. But like for me, like a Predator is like. To me, what a monster is something you can't communicate with.
Yes, I agree with you. Yeah.
But is a Predator a top 10 monster? Obviously, it's top 10. It's top 5.
Yeah.
It's top 3.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's important for me to like get a bit like
to distinguish the point. Yeah. So, okay.
I love Predator. I love the Predator.
I love the Predator.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Predator, come on the podcast.
Yeah. Weinstein, if you are listening, please come on to the show.
Right. To conclude, Nicholas, what's your favourite flavour of Monster Munch?
Well, the only one I've ever really had, because it's the only one that's always available, is the onion.
The pickled onion. Yeah, it's a banger. I had a multi-pack of Monster Munch the other day. Devoured them. They were gorgeous. I'm actually salivating.
Shout out to my corn-based crisps.
Yeah, that's it, baby.
Maize-based and maize-based.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Do you remember? It's like a create a snack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Right, we'll be debating best flavours of Monster Munch. We won't. It's pickled onion.
It's pickled onion.
Yeah, that's it.
It's all day, every day, baby.
So that was the final cut, half cut, movie motherfucking monsters, bitch.
Thank you for having me.
It's alright, mate. Anytime. Peace.